Salut zusammen, hier ist Heidi with Gompel TV. Ich bin here with Kenny from the Dropkick Murphys. Hi, Kenny.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. On your website, you guys have the quote, "The power of your example is far greater than what you say." Why does this quote mean so much to you guys?
I think when you're a band and you might espouse ideals in your lyrics, and if you go out and don't act what you're saying, and I think just actions speak louder than words essentially, and I think that we've tried to back up what we say in our music and who we are as people and have them be one and the same and not sing about one thing and behave another way, I suppose. So it's kind of just it's kind of like just the way we were raised and brought up, you know what I mean? Better live up to your word, or you'll get this.
Your music has been described as American Celtic punk. How would you describe it?
I think that's a pretty good description. I mean, we come from the city of Boston, which is, has a real strong Irish tradition and roots as a kind of first point, I guess you'd hit if you were coming from Ireland when people immigrated. And, Irish music was, like a huge part of my growing up, and this kind of the soundtrack to life and the Irish culture. I think in a lot of parts of America it's a lot more diluted, and people might say, oh, my last name is of Irish heritage, I'm Irish, but like in Boston it's really different. It's like, especially when you're the patriarchs of most families, whether it be parents or grandparents or great-grandparents are from Ireland. They're the parties and the events all obviously are in that vein to make them happy and comfortable and give them what they want. So I don't know, as a kid sometimes I guess I wouldn't know what country I was in, but we are from America, and we try to make that point, because there are a lot of bands that go over and try to, I don't know, almost like take it too far and stuff, and pretending they're from Ireland, so to speak. And we have a lot of influence from American rock and roll and American punk rock and hardcore. I mean, obviously that's probably a bigger side to us than even the Irish music is, growing up and going to see punk bands and hardcore bands and having that kind of sense of unity, and the band not being any more important than the fans, and a kind of all for one for all attitude, and mix that with the influence of our upbringing with Irish music, and you get the Dropkick Murphys,
You guys are known to be a politically active band. You guys participated in Punk Voter, which was a political activist group dedicated to defeating George W. Bush and Rock Against Bush. The upcoming elections are coming up in 2012. Can you give me just a few thoughts on how you guys are going to be politically active in this election?
I think we're screwed any way you cut it, unfortunately. It's sad to say that, I don't know that Obama's done the greatest job economically, but like he got left the biggest shit sandwich in the world, and I think I'm afraid that too many Americans are going to panic over the state of finances and vote the wrong way. I have an inherent distrust of all politicians, so to speak, but we were heading in the right direction in terms of making a change like we did a few years ago, and I just hope people can see the light at the end of the tunnel and not be so short-sighted that they vote for someone who's ideologically might not be great for America, but maybe who promises a quicker end to the financial recession. And so it's a tough situation, but I think Americans will hopefully do the right thing, and no candidates are coming out so far that really seem like a good challenge to President Obama. So that's a good thing, every Republican keeps shooting himself in the foot, so hopefully that continues.
Gempel is situated right in the smack dab in the middle of the Swiss Alps. Have you had a chance to look around and see any of the sights around here?
Just from the stage, it's been amazing, though. I mean, what a beautiful backdrop to play as a festival, and to look up and just see the mountains. And during half of our set, all I could focus on was this one house up on the hill, and it looked like it's on the side of a cliff. And I said, how the hell does that guy get to his house? And that's all I could think about during the show. But it's amazing, beautiful place. It's a pleasure to be here. This whole festival we've played, this whole tour we've played in some amazing locations where stages are just in the most beautiful places, and yeah, it's very. When I send the pictures home to my wife, she doesn't feel. Usually, I try to make her feel bad for me. Like, I'm over here working, honey. I miss you and the kids. And now she's like, look at these photos. You're having too good a time.
You guys have already been on stage. You're the first band that we're interviewing after the show. Do you have a couple of words for the public of the festival, the audience?
Great time. You guys were great. We get to play with some bands we're friends with today, which is always nice. And the fans here have been great to us, and we look forward to coming back. And it's always nice to play to a receptive crowd, and we're very fortunate in that regard. Most nights we do, and yeah, we don't take that for granted, and we're very grateful for the listeners appreciating what we do.
Are there any bands that you're going to see before you guys take off again?
I'm going to go watch NoFX right now, and I'm going to watch Offspring, and we're playing with the Foo Fighters, I think, tomorrow. And, yeah, it's always great to be able to see bands like that and, watch them from up close, and it's nice. It's good. It's one of the benefits of being on the festivals. You get to see, unfortunately for us, most of these festivals are 3 days, and a lot of times it's like the bands you'll love are the day before or the day after, but we've had some good luck on this trip where we've got to play on the same day as some bands we're friends with,
Is there any new and upcoming projects that you'd like to spend a few words on?
We have a lot going on back in Boston. When we get home, we're getting to play 2 concerts at, Fenway Park, which is where our baseball team plays, which is like a dream come true for a local band. And then we go out on our own little festival tour that we put together called the Shamrock and Roll Fest. It's going to have like an electric stage and a side acoustic stage, and a lot of Celtic influenced bands. And we plan on bringing that tour to Europe in January, February. So hopefully we'll be back in Switzerland with that.
That would be awesome. Well, Kenny, thank you very much for taking the time and spending a couple of words with me. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thanks for your help.
Okay, this is Heidi with Tefel Gompel.